in Manhattan, said you came to be an actor, but maybe you'll start robbing hell. Hey, yo. Don't know why I went.
Good morning, everyone. It's me, Liz. We are back with another What I Eat in a Week. This morning, I'm keeping it very simple and basic. I have my matcha latte, got a baby avocado toast with a sunny side up egg on top, and we have a piece of bacon. This morning, I was awakened by a series of barking from our dear Mochi. It was such a lovely morning until he barked me awake, and I thought I was having a nightmare, so that's wonderful. This week, we're going to talk about body image, so get excited for that. I think it's a topic that I talk a lot about, but there's a reason why I do, and you'll see as we go along this video. But for now, let's just enjoy this breakfast together and have a good time. That's so good. Damn, that toast is bomb. I'm gonna enjoy this while I do some work, and I'll catch you guys at lunch.你笑眯眯干什么呀？吃的好吃吗？The most basic but epic seasoning ever. It's good, but it's not good. But it's good, you know, it's just so basic. Oh shit, scared me. Okay. That scared the living poop out of me. Oof. Alright, let's eat. This morning, I was feeling some oatmeal, so I made my usual bowl of oatmeal, but I topped it off with half of a Built Bar. And let me tell you, this is the new way to eat oatmeal. I was pleasantly surprised by how delicious this Built Bar tastes with my oatmeal. If you guys are interested in trying Built Bars, you already know the drill. Go ahead and click on the link in the description box, use my code, and you will receive a discount at checkout. Built Bars are high in protein, low in sugar, and low in calories. It is a guilt-free treat, just like everything else we eat, and I want you guys to enjoy it with me. So again, click on the link in my bio and try out Built Bars for yourself. You will not regret it. Body image. Where do I even start? It was just around late March last year when I finally took matters into my own hands and did something about the way I felt and looked. I wasn't unhappy with my body, but I also wasn't happy either. It was complicated. I love myself very dearly, so I decided to do more for myself. If I want to feel good and look good, then I must start treating my body better, right? Well, yes, that is right for the most part. But I forgot to tend to the part of me that needed my attention the most, the part of me that needed the better treatment. I completely forgot about her. And it wasn't until recently, more than a whole year later, when I realized how lonely she has been, how neglected she must feel. And I guess this video is a dedication to her. I want to mend my relationship with her. She is my inner self, the self who has been suppressed for way too long, the self who has been carrying the weight of my burdens all on her own. Maybe you're wondering, how the heck did you come to this realization? Spill the tea, sis, spill the tea. Well, you see, my inner self beat the crap out of my ego and slapped me into reality. I was having a late night conversation with my mom and told her about an incident that happened to me during my trip to Seattle. I was at a lovely ramen restaurant, and when the first bowl of ramen came out, I offered it to my friend for her to enjoy first, since the three girls ordered the same thing. And when the server came back with the other two bowls, he was a little confused and told me that the first bowl was meant for me. I then said, "Oh, no worries, we all ordered the same thing." He paused for a second, then proceeded to serve the rest of us. I thought nothing of it at the time, it's just ramen. But as dinner came to an end, we noticed my friend still had a lot left in her ramen bowl. They gave her so much that it looked like she barely touched it. I was then informed each order of ramen was customized to how much an individual can eat, based on appearance, aka size. And because I was taller and bigger than the rest, the first bowl of ramen was literally meant for me. That stung a bit. It triggered a part of me that has suffered from the years of body shaming. But I played it off as no big deal. Again, it's just ramen. I replayed this incident for my mom, and I couldn't help but to burst into tears. I work out, I eat right, I'm literally a fitness YouTuber, and I'm still the bigger one? Still? Can I get a break, please? Can I not be judged for my body just this once? I expected my mom to coddle me, but instead she said, "Well, what did you expect? You are taller, you are bigger, and that is okay. You must not take it personally. Your sensitivity to this incident is beyond the surface level of what you are expressing to me. You need to reconnect with a part of you that desperately needs healing." I did not expect to hear this, and I did not want to hear this, but I knew I needed to hear this. I was awakened by a sudden jerk from within. Realization hit. I thought my relationship with my body was fully mended. I thought I was completely healed, happy, and satisfied. But the deep pain never went away. I just ran away. Working out, eating well, doing everything right were just actions of running away from what needed to be confronted. I was using them as a coping mechanism to cover up what was buried deep inside. I left a part of myself behind in my childhood. I left the version of me that caused me so much doubt and insecurity. She was mean and unforgiving to her body. And just to be clear, I don't blame anyone. I don't feel disdain towards anyone. No one made me feel this way. It was all of my own doings. To help you and I understand the root of the problem, let's travel back in time and see the world through my youthful eyes. I had a very happy and loving childhood, and I am forever grateful for it. My parents were and still are extraordinary human beings. We were given our own wings to become whoever we wanted to be. My family never viewed me in a negative light, so everything I say from now on is not a result of their doings. I was well raised and much loved. So where did the self-shaming come from? It wasn't from family, and it wasn't from friends. Oh, I know. It was from an environmentally curated ego. Before we move forward, let's define ego. The ego is not exactly what it is commonly defined as. Having an ego is often misinterpreted as being egotistic, narcissistic, pompous, and unaware, while having a big, unattended ego can lead to those characteristics. The ego is simply the conscious self, also known as the false self. We all have it. So in our context, we will define ego as the false self who constructs reality based on opinions made about you over the years. These opinions can be made by anyone, including you, in your familiar localized environment. This is what I mean by an environmentally curated ego. And oh boy, was my ego curated. I was compared a lot as a kid, and to make matters worse, I was compared a lot to my younger sister. And disclaimer here, my love for my sister is unconditional, so anything I say from here is not a jab at her. My sister was a literal doll. She was beautifully long and skinny, eyes as big as cherries, and her cuteness was unreachable. People were in love with her. I, on the other hand, looked like this. Yep, that's me. I mean, I was cute. I was a healthy looking girl, and sure, I didn't look like a doll, but I had my own special attributes. I was outgoing, born a leader as my dad would say, and quite confident. But the confidence began to diminish as judgments were made about my appearance. Adults didn't really pay much attention to me, and when they did, some would make comments about my appearance. They would point out that I was chubbier, stubbier, and saving the best for last, I was uglier. These comments were made to my face. I really took their opinions to heart. I thought, if adults say this about me, then they cannot be wrong because adults are always right, right? Yeah, I was too much of a good girl to reject these judgments. I began to falsify myself into believing that these judgments define me. I am chubbier, I am stubbier, and I am most definitely uglier. And again, I must emphasize, I really don't blame anyone. I have no hate in me. These adults didn't know any better, and they were just making judgments, not stating facts. It was me who took them to heart. This is a battle between me, myself, and I. The judgments didn't stop there. They actually worsened, and worst of all, these judgments were made by me. Over the decade, I've been struggling with my body image. I had a false idea of who I was, and I believed the ego was the real me. I believed that I was unflattering because society told me I was. I believed I needed to look a certain way to be worthy. This mentality really messed with my subconscious self. I've curated this ego to prevent myself from getting hurt by judgments. By becoming what was thought of me, I no longer got offended when judgments were made about me because it was just the truth. Obviously, this method of coping did not work. Coping is a fancy word for distraction, and I finally realized that working out and eating right with no intention to acknowledge my damaged young inner self was a way for me to avoid having to deal with my ego. I can't keep running. Now that I've confronted my past, where do I go from here? What do I do with this new sense of reality, this newly revealed inner self? Truth be told, I'm not too sure. I don't have it figured out. I'm still in the process of digesting the truth, and I'm going to take my time. Time heals. I don't know how to heal yet, but I do know I want to mend my relationship with the part of me that carries the shame for my body. I am putting in the work. I am working out, eating well, treating my body right, with the intention to redefine myself and step out of the cage that I've been living in. The path to healing is unclear, but the intention is there. I want to be in a headspace where I am no longer affected by judgments made about my body, where I am not judging my own body. I want to detach myself from those opinionated adjectives that my ego has latched on so securely. I want to be the person who rewrites my reality. It took me more than a decade to free my authentic inner self. She is a little confused, a little lost, a little unsure of what will happen next. All I can promise and do is take care of her, be gentle with her, and as time heals, reunite with her to become one. To whoever is listening, you are not defined by who they think you are. You do not have to accept judgments and speculations. You are more than you know, you are more than your ego. Tap into your inner self and face the truth. You might not want to hear it, but it will heal you. And if you ever feel doubtful and alone, just know the universe has your back, and I do too. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye!